All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. So we just come out of Jason Lives. It's a good hit. It probably would have been a little bit bigger of a hit if 5 hadn't had been in the direction it was. But then again, like I say, I don't think if we didn't have 5, we wouldn't have had Jason Lives. It would have been a totally different movie. So I think things worked out the way they should have. Now we get to Part 7, and I know what a lot of you may have been thinking or have thought, Jesus, is it really a Friday the 13th Part 7? How many film franchises have a Part 7 on it? I really can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe movies that have reached a 7th installment, but, you got reboots and remakes and things like that. This was a legitimate Part 7 to a franchise, and that is an incredible thing, much less that it's a great film. Part 7 did something really strange. They took a girl and gave her telekinetic powers, and that was the combatant to Jason, and it sounds off the wall when you first think about it. But we got a man who helmed the director's chair, who was very skilled in makeup effects. We're of course talking about John Carl Buechler, with Magical Media Industries, that I don't know if he runs it or if he's just highly involved in it, but very, very skilled in makeup effects, special effects, and things like that. And he's directed films before. John did a great job with this movie. It's got a very good pace. We find this girl coming to the cabin in the woods, which is kind of strange when you think about it. They're going to live with the doctor, but, the girl and her mother come and stay in a cabin with their doctor. And lo and behold, this doctor, as we all know, he just wants to exploit this phenomenon that's going on with this girl for his own profit. And, of course, Jason kind of messes that up for everybody. A few things that don't even need to be mentioned, but I'll mention it just so I can get my thoughts on it. We did get Kane Hodder in this movie. I wonder about C.J. Graham. Was he offered the role? Did he turn it down? I'd like to know. But what I do know is when we got Kane Hodder in here, he legit took this character he made him a legit character. With each Jason movie, everybody did a well enough job to where it almost seemed kind of seamless, in the sense of it almost, to me, before I learned, I could have believed it was the same person up until Part 6. Honestly, I thought you could have told me that the same guy did 2, 3, and 4, and I would have believed it, because all 3 of those guys stayed fairly seamless. They were slightly different, but they kind of match their movies, which helped out the character Jason. But we got Kane Hodder in here, and he really animated Jason, gave him emotion, almost made him come to life a little bit in a sense. But he did a great job as Jason, and Kane definitely is my favorite Jason Voorhees. Number 2 would probably be CJ and Ted White as a tie for number 2. But to me, Jason, when you think of Jason Voorhees, to me the first person who comes to mind is Kane Hodder. He got a great opportunity in The New Blood, a well-deserved opportunity, and he did a great job. And we'll see later on. We'll see later on when we're still talking about Kane Hodder in the following sequels, because he returned and he did a great job. Part 7, there's really not a single complaint I have about it. Things I love about Part 7 is it feels so 80s to me, the way the clothes are, and then just the character dialogue. I love Part 7, but I don't know if this makes sense to anybody. I don't have a complaint that I can think of off the top of my head. It's just not my favorite. I know that might sound weird. I don't know what it is. It's awesome. I love it. I watch it all the time, but I just don't want to say it's my favorite. I don't understand why I think that way, but I just can't help it. But with that being said, Part 7 is incredible. It's for sure another fan favorite of this series. A lot of people love Part 7. We've got a lot of good action sequences in here, and we've got buildings falling on top of Jason. We've got burning buildings. We've got explosions. We've got bridges collapsing. We've got all kinds of things that you had not ever seen in a Friday the 13th. They kind of dabbled with it in part 6 with the motorhome crashing and things like that, and which was new and exciting. Part 7 basically turned this thing into a Lethal Weapon movie in a sense, and it was really awesome. The stunts and everything in part 7 are bar none, and it was really refreshing. Jason gets some more kills. The only thing I wish, it's a shame that this movie got destroyed so much by the MPAA, because you don't really get to see much of the kills, and that goes to say with every Friday the 13th, but this one a lot. You'll notice there's a lot of just quick cuts, and you don't get to see nothing, and it's just a shame. I really wish that they could somehow get the footage to release an unedited version, but unfortunately I think it's left up to our imaginations. I don't think we'll ever get an unedited version. But with that being said, I'd give part 7, The New Blood, like an 8.5 out of 10. Hell, even a 9 out of 10. Just a great slasher film, a great installment for the Friday the 13th series. Despite the fact that Barbara Sachs, the associate producer, did not get along well with John and just wanted to axe every idea he had, I think John came through and made a fantastic film. So that's going to wrap this up for part 7. I'm still enjoying doing this series. Next, we're going on to one of my personal favorites we'll talk about, Jason Takes Manhattan. But for now, this was Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. As always, guys, drop a comment. Was this your favorite? Was it not your favorite? How'd you think about Kane Hodder? Let's talk about that in the comment section. But until tomorrow, we will talk more about the Friday the 13th series as we get to Jason Takes Manhattan. But until then, y'all be good. This is Christian Hannah Horror.